for him and his wife, where the woman does not need to provide for anybody except herself. So when you have money, okay, let me give you an example. My dad passes away, you're a sister, I'm a brother, my dad leaves us with $150. Let's just assume I have 100, you have 50. Why? Because you're 50, you could buy yourself clothing with it. You could buy yourself, I don't know, gold with it. You could buy yourself whatever the hell you want with it. Nobody has any rights over your money. As opposed to my $100, I have to provide for my wife. I have to provide for my children. There's a lot more obligations on my money than there is on your money. So yes, your money is a luxury. My money is is a responsibility. So why would, when we're trying to create a society, not make sure that the people who have the money are taking care of their children? If I give you 50 and I give me 50 and I have to provide for more people, then it becomes unjust for the men.
I wrote an article about Sharia law and human rights law in Europe. Basically, I wonder how your set of values can go along with the European set of values. Because what you're saying that men...
You guys don't have values. You used to be Christians and now you don't.
We have gender equality in Europe.
What
men do not provide for us.
Is discriminatory against women?
I don't think so. We fought for these rights.
Yeah, but you think about it. Why would you want the same rights as a man? Why would you want that? Do you think men are better?
Freedom. Freedom is the most important thing in this life.
Do you think men are better?
No, of course not.
Okay, so why would you want the same things that men have? If you think men are not better, why would you want what men have? Why didn't you fight for men to be like women?
If I have financial independence, I'm a free person. I want to be a free person with a free will. I don't want to obey anybody's. Another thing, how come in the tribunal the witness of a woman is worth half of the witness of a man?
Depends. There are some situations.
No, it's clearly written in the Quran.
Again, it depends of the situation, because we understand that there are circumstances that women are not as part of society. Most of human history, women have been more, conservative. They've been more at home. And there are circumstances that a witness of a one woman is good enough. There have been instances in the Sharia where the Prophet ﷺ took one witness of one woman. So again, it depends.
It's clearly stated according to Sharia law.
But in application, it depends. Aisha radiallahu anha used to be the one that narrated the hadith the most. And did we need a second witness? And hadith is more important than a court case. We took her witness over other witnesses because she's a truthful woman. So again, why would we put hadith, which is more important than a witness, and we only had one woman for it?
Some scholars justify it by saying that because of women mental deficiency.
Sure. I'm not here to defend scholars' positions. Some scholars for sure said that, I'm sure.
But it's crazy to think that women have less mental abilities than men. Sure. Or because of their period, they are too emotional and they cannot lead a nation. Do you know what's written in the Quran? That a nation that is led by a woman will fail. How can you accept that? And there are so many Syrian refugees who moved to Germany who was run by Angela Merkel.
Okay, first of all, it's not in the Quran. Second of all, this is a hadith that you're quoting. And what we understand of it is a Sharia-run country. Because why? Because the one who leads a Sharia-run country has to lead the prayers, has to lead the Friday Salah, he has to lead Jum'ah. So there are rulings to why the Prophet ﷺ said this. So again, this is you just reading something and assuming. And my biggest problem with all of your moral objections is, where do you get your morals from? You're an atheist. You don't believe in God. Where do you get your morals from?
I don't have to believe in a God to be a good person. And that's the difference between me and you.
What is morality then? Where do you get your morals from?
A good person is a person who does not hurt the others. I don't need to believe in a God not to hurt the other people.
Sure. And if let's say you believe in a prison system?
What prison system? No.
Do you believe that we should have prisons?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's hurting people. Does that make you a bad person if you hurt people by putting them in prisons?
No. If we had the death penalty, that means to hurt people. But we have a good legal system. If a person commits a crime, he pays for that, but he doesn't get killed.
Where do you get your morals from? Where do you know what is right or wrong from?
It's internal morals. You don't have to follow a book written 2,000 years ago.
Okay, fine. Where do you get what is right or wrong? Do you think LGBTQ is right?
Yes.
Sure. Do you think incest is right?
No.
Okay, why?
Because incest leads to genetical problems in the child.
No child. 2 men, 2 brothers.
And you should know that because the Pakistani who live in Britain, there is this huge case, they get married to their first cousin, and you have many genetic defeats.
2 brothers. 2 brothers. There's no babies. I don't know if you think men could give birth now, but 2 brothers. They're incest. Is that okay? No babies
No,
get come out.
okay. It's not okay.
Why?
I think it's different.
You see, folks,
To
this
homosexuals
is
and
what subjective morality is. Subjective
No,
morality
it's recognized in all
is I
societies.
feel okay, or I feel okay.
No,
This
no,
is
no.
what subjective morality is.
Homosexuality is
I
only
feel okay.
rejected in patriarchal societies.
So why is 2 homosexual
Because it's
brothers
unacceptable
wrong?
for a man to be dominated by another man sexually. Islam is a patriarchal,
Sure.
sexist religion.
Sure, but just explain to me why 2 brothers can't be intimate according to your life view. Explain it to me. Explain it to me logically and rationally why 2 men that are not related could sleep with each other, but if I'm in love with my brother, I can't do anything with him according to your life view.
I think these are 2 different scenarios.
Why? What's the difference?
But I really don't understand the fact that these 2 homosexuals, they are adults and they are consenting. Why do you want to get into their life and tell them you cannot have sex? Who cares?
Exactly. If 2 brothers are consenting, they're both over 25, why do you care?
Okay, I think that's not appropriate, but if they are adults and they can do whatever they want.
But why do you care?
No, I'm saying they can do whatever they want.
Okay, so you're okay with it right now. Guys, welcome to Objective Morality, where in 10 seconds, she changed her whole worldview on what is okay and what is wrong. It took her 10 seconds. 10 seconds for her to say, no, it's wrong, no, it's right.
You change your morality based on a book written almost 2,000 years ago.
That's objective morality. My opinion doesn't change.
Quran,
what is right is right, and what is wrong is wrong.
The Quran, wait. The Quran accepts
my opinion
slavery. The Quran accepts slavery. Would you have a slave?
Yeah. If it's under war, what do you expect us to do? And I'm very curious. What do you understand about the Islamic position? Not the Christian, not the European understanding of slavery, the Quranic understanding of slavery.
So you will take a slave. You will accept that because it's written in the Quran.
What is the Quranic understanding of slavery?
Owning another person.
Oh, guys, apparently she wrote a paper on Sharia law and doesn't even know what the European version of slavery, the torturous, the absolute horrific things the Europeans did. But you don't know the Muslim understanding of slavery. That's why you're so confident in what you say. That's, again, your moral view of the world changes every 10 seconds. In 10 years, Maria will be okay with things she thinks is wrong.
When did we have slaves? What are you talking about? When did we have slaves?
Europeans?
Yes, when?
You're asking me when you're Belgium, right?
I'm Italian.
Okay. You think you live in Belgium. Belgium, did they take any slaves?
Belgium colonized the Congo.
Okay. They colonized who?
Congo.
Yeah, they colonized Congo. How many millions of Congolese did they kill?
Many.
Men?
Many.
Oh, many. Okay, so you think they took no slaves? The transatlantic
do you know
slave
that the
trade.
Arab slave trade was the biggest slave trade in the world?
You're talking bigger than the transatlantic?
I don't know if bigger than the transatlantic.
No, you don't know. Like, this is my problem. Like,
but it was big. It was big.
Your hatred for Islam is crazy because you ignore your own history. You ignore your own history. Like
what history? Italians, we didn't have slaves. What history? What are you talking about?
Did the Italians colonize?
We tried, but we failed.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Must be so inconvenient. And when you colonize, do you not take the people of that land and try to make them do work against their will?
And no, because we were defeated in battle. We tried to colonize the Horn of Africa and they defeated us.
Bro, I'm pretty sure. Didn't you guys take like Eritrea and a bunch of other little countries? Yeah, Libya. Libya is one of them. Didn't you guys? Actually, you guys did take Libya.
Yes. But did we justify slavery as in the Quran or as the Arab slave trade?
I'm telling you that the Islamic understanding of slavery is not like the European one.
Okay, what's your stance on slavery?
No.
What's your idea about slavery?
We're not going to have an Islamic class right now. You wrote a book on Sharia and all of a sudden don't know anything about Sharia. Like, you understand that, Maria, you're most probably depressed, by the way. Like, I just don't know anything about you, but your worldview has no purpose. You have no reason to exist. If Maria woke up today or didn't wake up tomorrow, there's no difference for her. You're the absolute sadness of a life where you have no higher purpose, where you have morals that are completely floppy, where you're consistently trying to fight something that does not exist. There's no way you could be a happy human being. It just doesn't make sense. It couldn't make any sense.
And in order to be happy, you have to invent a fairy tale, thinking that there is like afterlife, heaven, hell, and there is a God leading your actions.
Wait, okay, you don't believe in a higher power, right? It's true. Tell me, where did this all come from?
Where does God come from? It's the same argument.
No, God doesn't have a beginning. The universe has a
We
beginning.
do not have a beginning. It's the same argument we use.
No. That's actually scientifically wrong. You believe that the universe has a beginning.
Yeah, and why do you think that God does not have a beginning?
But if anything has a beginning, it cannot have created from nothing or it created from itself. It's either that. Did it create from nothing? Did nothing create something?
You have the same argument. No. You think that as an atheist, I don't believe that whatever it was created, and I say the same about God.
No, except that your philosophers, when they studied the idea of having an unmoved mover, the prime mover, they believed, even your own philosophers believe, that you have to have a prime mover, something that caused everything to come into motion, and it has never been in motion. Something that is the prime mover, something that brought creation into existence, but it itself never created. Because if there was consistently things that are been created, there would be an infinite regress, and there would be no this type of creation. So you not understanding the infinite regress means you have no idea what you're even talking about.
So God was not created, but the universe was created. That's crazy. I can ask you the same question. Who created God? Where does he come from?
I just answered. To have a God that's created would mean another God created him, which means who would create that God? Let's say another God created him. Let's say another God created him. That would be an infinite regress. There could no be law. It's an actual fallacy to believe that there is no beginning. You not believing the universe has a beginning is you contradicting science.
Okay, you not believing that God has a whatever that exists. I mean, we have no proof that God exists.
The proof is that there's a creation. If there's a creation, there's a creation.
Who created God? Oh my God! Once again, who created God? That's the same argument.
Okay.
You think that the starting point is God who created the earth, and I think that the starting point is earth.
Sure. Let me give you an example. Imagine there's two cookies, okay? One cookie speaks to, we give them life. One cookie speaks to the other cookie and says, hey, I wonder at what degree, at what Fahrenheit was the one who baked us baked at. Does that make any sense? Just because cookies are baked doesn't mean that the baker is baked. Just because you came into existence doesn't mean that the one who brought you into existence has a beginning. Has a beginning.
Nobody brought me into existence. There is no God.
Nobody brought you into existence? You just always existed?
Who brought God into existence? It's exactly the same logic. You use religion because you don't want to accept that life simply makes no sense. Like you want to face pain, like to deal with pain by thinking that you suffer in this dunya, but in the afterlife, there is something bigger who will reward you for your good action in this temporary life. And you use this excuse to go on.
Fine. Let's go scientifically. Who created this universe? The cosmologists believe that this universe came into existence 18 billion years ago. Who brought this universe into existence?
Who brought God into existence? I think we should have changed topic because it's always the same argument. No. You think that the starting point is God? I think the starting point is earth.
Listen, the difference between my answer and your answer is you're refusing to answer and you're refusing to accept my answer. I'm telling you, God does not have a beginning. You're telling me then who brought him into existence? You know how stupid that makes you sound? I'm telling you he doesn't have a beginning. You tell them then who brought him into existence? I keep answering you. You keep refusing my answer.
Okay. So you think that Islam is the religion of truth. It's the true religion. But do you understand that in the Quran, there are so many things that are in conflict with modern life. For example, do you really believe that the moon was split in two parts?
Yes.
Is there scientific evidence? No.
Sure. But I didn't use the moon splitting as a base for you to accept Islam. You understand what I mean? Like, there are things that are
It should be a book without errors.
That's not an error. Something that is not verifiable doesn't mean it's an error, right? I'll give you an example. I'm wearing white socks right now. Could you verify that? No, I'm not going to show it to you. You can verify that. Does that mean automatically it's a lie? No. But there has been people that see my socks being white, maybe the people in my house. So now non-verifiable things does not make it wrong. But what could be wrong is verifiable things. Let's say I tell you I'm wearing a red shirt. This is verifiable for you. You could see it. Now that for you is you could disprove it. So there are things in the Quran you could see and you could disprove. If you are not able to disprove them, then you cannot disprove the things that are not verifiable.
Okay, one thing I can disprove, it's written that, for example, I don't know, the sperm comes from the back, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know the right terms,
Sure.
but you know what I'm talking about.
Sure. But you're just like, at this point, what are you Wikipediaing mistakes in the Quran type thing?
No. I actually studied, I wrote my PhD thesis about Sharia law and human rights law. So I also studied Sharia law.
Perino. Okay, let's go to the verse that you're quoting. Okay, it's in Surah Al-Tariq. Let me give you the verse. يخرج, where is it? Let me, because again, your PhDs, yeah, inshallah, for you, just for you to become a freelancer. Okay, wait. يخرج, where's?
You know, the attacks ad personam, ad hominem, are the very last resort when a person has no arguments.
I have all the arguments. I'm just looking for something.
Also,
I'm actually very
a freelance
intelligent. I
lawyer
could do
makes
both
more
as a-
money than an employee.
What?
A freelance lawyer makes more money than an employee.
Okay, just give me your email. I'll make sure to email you a medal, okay? Just, where's the verse? يخرج, where's يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب? Guys, what's the verse? What's the verse? Well, I'm looking for it. I'm doing her the favor of finding the verse for her. What's the verse? It's يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر. Yeah, not صوت الطارق. Okay, إنه على رجعه لقادر. Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's see comprehension skills 101. Okay, she has a PhD, guys. Remember, she has a PhD in this. Okay, let not people.
PhD in international law, it's different, not in this subject.
You just said you had a PhD in Sharia law.
No. I wrote my thesis about the connection between human rights law in Europe and Sharia law. It's online. You can read it.
All right. Okay. Let's read the two verses before that, because this is one of the biggest problems I have with people that read the Quran like this. They completely ignore everything other than whatever it's convenient for them. Listen to me, okay, guys? Listen to this. This is verse number 5. This is two verses before the verse she quoted. Let people not consider what they were created from, okay? They were created from a gushing fluid, okay? Now, who are we talking about? We're talking about people, right? Let people not consider what they were created from, okay? So we're talking about people. What were they created from? They were created from a gushing fluid. They, يخرجوا. Who's yakhruj? Who's coming out, stemming from the backbone and the ribcage? Who is this, the Quran talking about? People. Not talking about the fluid. It's talking about people. And where are people coming from? Mrs. Maria, where do babies stem from? Not from between the backbone and the ribcage. Where do you get pregnant? Khalto Maria.
In my uterus.
In your uterus. Okay, but where is that located when you are pregnant?
Bro, it's my ovaries.
Okay, mashallah. Okay, so now next time you read a verse, just go two verses behind that and you'll understand, okay? So what is it talking about here? It's talking about people. Where are people stemming from? The backbone and the rib cage.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you have your points. Of course, you have to defend Islam. Once again, my position is that as a woman, I think that Islam oppresses women.
And I think the West oppresses women more than Islam could ever. If you think you're a sex object in Islam because you have to sleep with your husband, then at this point, the West makes you into a prostitute.
You know, a woman cannot ask for a divorce without a reason. And if she asks for a divorce without a reason, she goes to hell. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The man has so much power in Islam. It's a religion written by men for men.
And has a lot of why would men have to provide for women? Why would a man force himself to provide for women?
Society back then was different. The Quran is adapted to the society of almost 2,000 years ago. So it was a dangerous place. Men left their houses to go and to work and to bring money home. And women had to cook and clean. But now society is more safe. If you go around in Europe, it's safe cities. We have safe cities. So both men and women can work. We have equality. It was different back then.
Do you want to work?
Of course I want to work.
Okay. And why?
Because if I do not work, what's my purpose in life? I mean, I go in the morning to work and I think...
There it is, folks. Because she has absolutely no reason to exist, she has to go work. As us Muslims, we have a reason to exist.
Your reason is to believe that there is
money is not our purpose in life. Money is not our purpose in life for Muslims.
Yeah, your purpose is to think that there is an imaginary friend in heaven.
You believe this world came by a magic trick. You believe
that God came here by magic trick.
No, I believe God has always existed. That's the difference. Your cosmologists believe this universe has a beginning, but you don't know where it came from.
We can use the same argument again and then again.
God does not have a beginning. That's a difference. Infinite existence is different from a beginning.
God does not exist.
What's your date of birth? You cannot say, well, I don't have parents. It doesn't make sense. If you have been given birth to, there has to be a beginning to Maria. If Maria, and just so you understand, let me explain to you an infinite regress, by the way, because a lot of people I don't know what freaking PhD you got, but do you know what an infinite regress is?
No.
Okay. An infinite regress, let's say Maria was given birth by her parents. For Maria to exist, Maria is dependent on her mom and dad. For her mom and dad to not have existed, Maria could not have existed. So Maria is a dependent being on her parents. Her parents are dependent on their parents. Your mom and dad are dependent on both their moms and dad. Let's go until the infinite, okay? We are dependent on this universe. This universe to not have existed, we cannot have existed. For the universe to not have to come to being, we could not have come to being. So now, again, we are all dependent on a dependent thing. Well,
and who God is dependent on.
Exactly. For these dependent things to exist, for there to be an infinite amount of dependent things, there has to be an independent thing that all of these dependent things are reliant on, and that is God.
I think that's the universe, and I think it's universe. We have two different starting points.
At the beginning, you cannot if the universe has its own dependency, which is to exist, because it didn't exist at one point. It cannot be independent. An independent thing could not have a beginning.
God does not exist.
Oh, wow. That was a very logical rebuttal to my argument.
But because you keep saying the same things and I keep saying the same things.
Very logical. You know what you answered me? It's like if I explain to you how 2 + 2 is 4 and you just say no. Okay, no. Tell us. All right. What am I supposed to rebuttal to that?
Same things, and I keep repeating the same things. You think that the starting point is God. I think that the starting point is the universe. You say that the universe was created by God. I think there is no God.
Okay. Forget God for a second. Just put God to a second. The universe did not exist at one point. What brought the universe into existence?
Big Bang.
Okay, that's the universe. What brought it into existence?
What brought God into existence? That's exactly the same logic. I had this argument also with Christians, with a Christian priest, and he was very peaceful. He told me, yeah, we have different ideas. You think that the starting point is the universe? I think the starting point is God. Muslims and Christians, they have the same ideas about this topic. We just have different beliefs. Who is wrong and who is right, we cannot know, because nobody ever went to the afterlife, so nobody knows what's in the afterlife. You can say that there is a Jannah and Jahannam. We are not sure about that.
But you cannot use your logic right now. Like, you can't use your logic. You only will be dependent on your logic once you die.
Okay. So you think that there is a Jannah and Jahannam? Do you have proof about that?
No, but these are non-verifiable things. I told you. I explained to you verifiable and non-verifiable. I told you the things that are verifiable now is for you to use your logic and your intellect, for you to realize that there has to be an unmoved mover, a prime mover. Everything that is dependent is, this thing has to be independent. These are all philosophy terms that you might supposed to have understood. These are not Islamic terms. I'm not explaining to you in Islamic way. I'm just telling you that the understanding of a higher power is the most logical. And honestly, to be quite fair, throughout all of history, all of humanity, they believed in a higher power. You just believe your point in history all of a sudden is more intellectually sound than everybody ever.
You say that in history they always believed about a God. You know, I have so many Arab friends. They're on their identity card, it's written they are Muslim, but they are actually atheists. The fact is that I was speaking to this friend, and she told me I cannot go to the the register, to the what's the name, the town service, to say I want to change my identity card and say that I'm not Muslim but an atheist, because I get killed. So how can you say that Islam is the true religion when if you leave Islam you get killed?
What country is she getting killed in?
She's from Iran.
Okay, cool. And if I tell people I'm I don't know, fornicating with my brother, I'll get killed here. So what? There are social norms.
In Europe, no, you don't get killed. We don't have that penalty.
There are social norms that are unacceptable throughout all of
No,
this.
it's not acceptable to kill people. It's not acceptable.
I don't speak on behalf of Iran. I'm not here to defend Iran.
No, but in the Sharia, in the Quran, it's written that if you leave Islam, the crime of apostasy is punished with death penalty. That's crazy.
Not necessarily. Not just because.
How can a religion that is true be forced into other people? That's literally forced.
It's not forced. It's
because if you leave it, you get killed. That's crazy.
Yeah, fine. And how many people, when they betray their country, they get killed? Look at Snowden. Why is Snowden in Russia right now?
We don't have that penalty in Europe.
Why is okay? I don't care about Europe. Is not again. You're not the standard of morality. You take your.
Yes, we are. Yes, of course we are.
From where? According to who? Do you have the morals in terms of family values?
The fact that you throw homosexuals out of a roof. Do you think you have morals?
But you're not. You don't accept two brothers being with each other.
I don't care. I will never go there and kill them.
Okay, but you.
I will never throw them off a rooftop.
Europeans have killed more people than anybody in history.
Are you serious about that? Do you know what the Arabs did?
Europeans have.
Do you know how the Ottomans converted the people in the Balkans?
Second World War combined, and what you guys did in Congo, and what you guys have killed more people than anybody on history of Earth.
What are you talking about? Do you know how the Ottomans converted the people in the Balkans, in Bulgaria, in Bosnia? They went there and they said, whether you die or you convert to Islam.
How many deaths?
How many deaths in the Iraq-Iran war? 2 million.
Okay, and how many deaths in the first and the second World War?
In the what?
First and the Second World War.
A lot.
Okay, how many in Congo?
How many?
In the Soviet Union? Like all of you Europeans, I'm telling you, the Europeans have caused more death than anybody else on Earth.
The Arabs are no better. You are no better.
I'm not here to defend Arabs. I'm here to talk about Islam. You're defending the differences.
Let's talk about Islam. How did you convert people in the Balkans? How did the Ottomans went there and converted people? They went there and they said, whether you pay jizya, what's the name, the tax, or you convert to Islam, or you get killed. Sure, there is no free will. They were forced to convert.
You don't like jizya?
No.
You don't like to pay jizya? So you want to pay zakah?
Do you know when
the Muslims pay zakah? Do you want to pay zakah or do you want to pay jizya?
I don't want it to be an imposition. If I want to give charity, that's my choice.
No, not charity. This is a tax. Do you prefer paying European law tax or do you prefer paying the jizya?
The jizya is only paid by non-Muslims.
Yes, because the Muslims have to pay more. The zakat is more expensive than jizya.
Okay, but in Europe, if you don't pay taxes, nobody kills you. In Islam, if you don't pay jizya, you get killed.
If you go to prison, isn't that slow death? What is prison? What is taking away 5 or 10 years of your life?
But we don't unalive people. Why do you have the right to go there and kill somebody?
Okay, so why do you have to put people in prison if they don't pay taxes?
Why do you want to go there and throw homosexuals off a rooftop? That's crazy. Let them be. They want to fall in love and have sex. Who cares? Why do you care if two men have sex? Why do you care?
You care. You care if two brothers are banging each other. You care.
No,
You care.
I don't go there and kill them. I don't even think they should go to jail. I don't care.
It's wrong. Why do you think something is wrong then? Tell me.
The difference between me and you is that you think it's wrong, so they should be killed. To me, it's wrong, but I let them live.
But it's not true. No Muslim is allowed to walk into people's houses and see what they're doing and then judge them based on that.
Islam is enforced by violence.
So is European law.
No, we don't have that penalty.
Could I not
You
follow
kill
European
people.
law?
You kill people because of adultery.
No, just answer me. Could I walk into Europe and not follow your laws?
Yeah, you should follow my laws. Yes, of course.
And if I don't follow your laws, will I be forced to follow your laws with violence?
No, I will leave you. Like I will take a distance from you.
You don't have any power. But will your police force and your government force me to obey your law or face consequences?
Yes, but they will not kill you. And that's the difference between European law and Islam.
Then it is
Islam will kill you.
by violence. It is every law in history to be enforced, there needs to be force. That's why you enforce it. That's the word force.
Cannot kill people because a woman has sex with someone who is not her husband. That's crazy. You kill people for adultery.
You know how many people lives destroyed from adultery? And you think it's okay to have adultery?
I don't think it's okay, but you cannot unalive a person. You cannot kill a person just because she has sex with someone who is not her husband. That's crazy.
So what's the punishment of somebody who has adultery? Oh, forget.
Just leave her.
A man.
Just leave her.
Oh, just leave her. She just destroyed her whole family, destroyed the mental health of the man. Okay, a man cheats on his wife. He cheats on his wife. Okay, you think he's allowed to just be cheated on his wife, to be fornicating everywhere? Like it's okay, just leave him.
Of course, I cannot kill another person. Bro, what the fuck? Are you justifying honor killings? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't understand what you should do. Okay, Islam is wrong, and you're.
Are you justifying honor killings?
Explain to me what is the logic. What should we do?
Crazy. So a woman cheats on a man and she must be killed. That's crazy.
Don't try to play on people's emotion. A man cheats on his wife. What should be the punishment for a man who cheats on his wife?
There is no punishment. She just has a dignity and says goodbye.
Oh, that's
and
it?
finds another man. Goodbye.
So this woman just gave 10, 20 years of her life and a man just cheats on her and leaves her with 4 kids. That's it?
Yes. You cannot force a person to be with you. You cannot force a person.
Yeah, great. Look, listen, at the end of the day, you do you. At the end of the day, that's why you're probably single. Probably will remain single. Probably you don't have any respect for your husband. You treat your husband like a woman, and the husband treats you like a man. Like this doesn't work like that. Your man needs to feel like he's with a woman. That's one of the problems that we're fighting back against society. Women are not men, and men are not women. I'm not going to expect you to provide for the house, and nor do I expect the husband. It just doesn't make any sense. You do you at the end of the day. Like you don't want to. You're not even willing to provide your husband with sexual intercourse. What's the point?
No, of course not. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Of course not. Yeah, why not? Why be married with the only person you could be intimate with, and she doesn't want to give it to you?
But why the only person? If I want to have sex, I don't need to get married.
Oh, okay, sure. But if you're in a relationship, could he cheat on you?
No, of course he cannot.
Okay,
he must respect me.
Who says it's disrespectful to cheat?
It's disrespectful for me because he hurts my feelings.
So what?
But if he cheats on me, I will not kill him.
Sure, if he cheats on you, it hurt. If he doesn't cheat on you, it hurts his feelings.
That's the difference between being a civil person and a barbarian.
Okay, sure. And if he wants to sleep with another girl because it's hurting his feelings, would you let him?
I will just leave him. It means that the relationship is not working.
No, maybe it's working. Maybe he loves you.
No, it's not working. If he wants to have sex with other women, it's not working. Bye. I will find another man.
Sure. But maybe he doesn't tell you because he knows it's going to hurt your feelings, so he doesn't want to hurt your feelings.
You know, I was working at the Council of Europe and I was in the Women Empowerment Program. Basically, I was dealing in violence against women in the MENA region, so Middle East and North Africa. Every day I arrived at work and I received like files of women killed by the hands of their father or their husband. There was this girl one day, she was killed because she posted an Instagram picture without the hijab. And she was killed in a honor killing. Do you think this is justified? That's crazy. That's barbarian.
Sure. Nobody's justifying that.
There was this girl, she was 18, she was forced to get married. She cheated on her husband and she was killed in a honor killing. That's crazy.
You know how many girls get killed by their husbands when they cheat? I'm not telling you, Islamically, you can't take the law in your own hands. Nobody's telling you.
According to Islam, if a woman cheats, she gets stoned.
Sure, if there's 4 witnesses. Are you sleeping in the street, Maria? Like, is that what's happening? You want people to be okay to sleep in the streets?
And you think this is acceptable? Just because a woman has sex with another man, she gets killed. That's crazy. That's barbarian.
If there's 4 witnesses, yeah.
And you accept that. You say it as if it is normal. That's crazy. That's barbarian.
Maria, the difference between you and me is I have an objective morality. I believe God knows better than me and you. The difference is you just are telling me about your feelings right now. You're telling me about your feelings. You're not telling me about any objective truth. You're telling me about how you feel.
Your objective truth is based on a book written 1,400 years ago in a specific area, the Middle East. It does not get along with Western values.
And your morals are based on your feelings.
Yes.
Okay. Like, according to what Maria feels of the week, that's what the rules are going to be. If Maria hates Muslims and she thinks Muslims should get unalived, well, that's the morals of the week.
I will never think that a person should get unalived. That's the difference between me and you.
If Marias are like the Israelis and they feel like, oh, well, these Muslims are threatening us and we need to take care of them, then that's okay. If Maria lived in Germany in the time of Hitler and she thought that taking the lives of Yahoods are okay, she would have done it because your morals are based on your situation and your place. You don't think it's okay today because of the circumstance you're in. But you would have, if you were in another circumstance, you would have thought it's okay.
So you think that what's written in the Quran is morally good, like slavery is good? Do you know that the Prophet even had sex with slave girls? That's crazy to treat a woman as an object.
I believe whatever is in Islam and the Quran is morally superior to anything you will ever believe.
Okay, what if your daughter was a slave and she was used as a sexual object by a man?
Okay. Like you're asking me, like, what if my daughter went to prison? Would I like it? No, obviously I wouldn't like my daughter going to prison. And you think it's moral to have prisons, right? So obviously I wouldn't like my wife or my daughter to go through consequences.
It's better to have a prison rather than to be killed.
Yeah, we'll tell that to the Europeans that killed Africans all throughout all of history.
You also Arabs. Arabs had slaves.
Listen, the Holocaust after Holocaust you guys committed in Congo and against the Jews and against all of these places, like don't Europeans are literally the garbage of humanity. You guys are literally the garbage of humanity. You've committed.
Oh, that's racist to say that. It's like if I say that Arabs are the garbage of humanity. That's very bad. You cannot be racist.
Okay, sure. Well, we didn't commit Holocaust after Holocaust.
But you also committed war crimes. What happened when Saddam Hussein decided to invade Kuwait? How many people died in Iraq?
Europeans. I'm defending Islam. There's a difference.
Okay, how many people did you kill just because the Ottomans killed, just because they didn't want to convert to Islam in the Balkans, in Bulgaria, in Bosnia?
I'm not defending the Ottomans. I'm defending Islam.
According to Islam, you can kill a person who doesn't want to convert or who leaves Islam.
Give me one verse that tells you you're allowed to kill somebody who doesn't want to convert.
No, there's the verse saying that apostasy is a crime punished by death penalty.
Yes, and what's the conditions to that?
I don't know.
Yeah, but don't tell me you wrote a thesis on Sharia law and stuff. You don't know any of the
I wrote a
conditions.
thesis between the interconnection between human rights law and Sharia law. Do you know what's written in my thesis? Basically, there are many conventions, international conventions, about protecting women from gender-based violence. And all Islamic countries put like reservations to these conventions. saying they go against our Islamic values, because according to Islamic values, men and women cannot have the same rights.
Okay. And you think men and women are the same? The exact same?
I think they should have the same rights.
In terms of what? In terms of what?
In terms of freedom, I don't want to get killed if I cheat on my husband.
Okay. So the rights that you're fighting on is you want to cheat on your husband in peace.
No, do you know that, for example, in
just so I
Islamic
understand,
countries,
the human rights that you're fighting for is that you want to cheat on your husband in peace.
in Islamic countries, women cannot become judges. That's crazy.
That's not true. You're such a liar. At the highest,
Okay,
at the
become a judge
at the ICJ, which is the highest court of the international community, there were Muslim judges, women, non-hijabis.
I'm talking about Arab countries. In Egypt, a woman cannot become a judge.
Algeria is not a Muslim country.
Egypt is a Muslim country.
Okay, Khato, Algeria, the ICJ, all of the Muslim judges that were there, like you're just chatting at this point. You don't even know anything about Muslim countries.
Oh, go to Egypt. A woman in Egypt cannot become a judge of administrative law.
Okay, but I told you.
That's true. That's true.
According to the ICJ, at the highest appointed court, there were Muslims, a Muslim judge, and she was not even hijabi.
But the ICJ judge was not appointed by Algeria. That's the difference, according between international law and international law.
Who's she appointed by?
She's appointed by the International Court of Justice.
Okay, at the reference of the country of origin. The country of origin cannot refuse her.
No. Bro, I have a PhD in international law. Judges do not represent the country when they are judges at the International Court of Justice. They are independent. They are independent judges.
Be independent because they don't want them to be what's it called? Freaking swayed by the country, but they always throughout all of history have voted based on the politics of their country.
Tunisia is the only country when a woman can marry a non-Muslim man.
Well, every time, by the way, just notice this, every time she was stuck in a corner, she deviates. She doesn't know how to have a conversation on one subject, she deviates. And the problem is she will always have an upper hand because she doesn't have any morals to stand on. If I told her, if let's say I argued with her right now about, like I had an argument with her 2 seconds ago about sleeping with your brother. If she feels like, you know what, he's right, she'll just say, yeah, why not? Because she has no morals to stand on. She has no morals to stand on. So I'm arguing with water.
Believe in God to have morals.
You have to have an objective truth to have an objective morality. No objective truth, no objective morality. The morality that you have today is aslan based on judo Christian values. The reason you live your life today in the way you do is because your European brothers and sisters used to be Christians. And what you think is okay today is because the Christians told you it was okay.
Your truth is wrong.
All right, good argument.
Just one thing and then I leave. The fact it's written in the Quran that a country led by a woman will fail.
Okay, give me the verse of the Quran. I told you this was not in the Quran. Give me the verse of the Quran.
Hadith. I don't know. It's an hadith.
So you're lying about the Quran consistently to make your point. Go, give me the verse of the Quran.
It could be a hadith or whatever. Okay. I don't know. But
how about
according to Sharia law, a country that is led by a woman will fail.
I already Wallah, I don't know if you're serious, but we already had this conversation and I already explained it to you and you already let it go. But now you circle back. I told you this refers to a Muslim-led country because the leader of a Muslim-led country has to lead Salah. He has to be able to lead the country at war or certain circumstances that are not appropriate for women to do in our circumstances. And we're not talking about European countries because Bangladesh, who is quote-unquote a Muslim country, is led by a woman.
Okay, then why do Muslims...
We're done. You said last thing. Because I already discussed this with you and you're just arguing in bad faith at this point.
So you don't want to listen to the last point?
No.
Okay.
So anyways, man, I really have to finish my Quran of the day, but I don't know. Yo, guys, we